Welcome back, everyone. This is Deathstroke9, and today I've got a huge one for you guys. It's a doozy. It's a doozy of a video. It's going to be the beginning of some series of videos. So, let me just start it by saying I got a package in the mail today. And we're going to be unboxing it, okay? It's from Arc Dream Publishing. Some of you may know what that means. I want to start by giving a huge thank you to Arc Dream Publishing for sending me this review copy of this game. If you know the title of this video, you know what game it is already. It is Delta Green, okay? I'm super excited to see exactly what is hidden within these walls. Now, before we get into it, I want to say what Delta Green is, for anyone who doesn't know. So, I love Call of Cthulhu, right? It's like my favorite role-playing game. Delta Green is basically Call of Cthulhu, as far as I know. I have not read the books. We're going to be looking through them today. This is going to be my first time looking through them. As far as I know, Delta Green is like Call of Cthulhu, only the investigators are all working for this sect of the government called Delta Green. It's similar to something like the X-Files or Men in Black, where the investigators are all kind of in on the Mythos threat and they're going to fight it. Why? And there's other changes, but that's the core of the difference between this game and Call of Cthulhu. Plus, I've heard that Delta Green has some different rules systems, some variations, some more harsh or intriguing sanity rules. Just a lot of things that I'm really excited to delve into and check out, and I'm excited to play this game, and to run it, and to do all types of stuff. But today we're going to be unboxing it. I would like to thank Arc Dreamworks, specifically Rachel. Thank you very much for helping me out with this, and I'm excited to see what this is. So let's go unbox this sucker. Before we get into it, though, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoy it. And this, the Delta Green Slipcase Set, the physical thing, is $100. You can find it in the description. There will be a link to Arc Dream's own page. It is not an affiliate link, so 100% of the proceeds go to them, except for whatever the taxes take out or whatnot. And yeah, let's get into it. Heading over to the floor to go unbox this. Alright guys, here we are. This is the moment of truth. I've got before me this wonderful box. It's my precious. Now, as I've said, Delta Green is basically a subset or something similar to, you know, Mythos, conspiracies, Call of Cthulhu, and yeah. Let's open this sucker up. If we can. Be careful not to damage our poor baby in here. There we go. Alrighty. Moment of truth, guys. Here we go. Okay, so first off, they package it very nicely. Very nice of them. Second, we got this. Alrighty. No, thank you guys. This thing came with a comment and it said thank you. Yeah, I'm going to throw that right back at you. Thank you guys very much for this. Right here. Here it is, guys. Yeah. Okay. Very nicely packaged, and enough of that. Let's get to what this is all about. So, first off, we have, this looks very cool. Looks almost like a microchip type thing. I don't know if you can see all of the details on this. Man, that's so cool looking. Alright, so on the side we've got Delta Green, the role-playing game. And as always, I'm going to start off by reading the back. This is the apocalypse. Okay, first of all, take a look at that artwork right there. Okay, that's incredible. So, Born of the U.S. government's 1928 raid on the degenerate coastal town of Innsmouth, Massachusetts. So, if anyone has read Lovecraft before, y'all know what that is. This covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor, but without glory. Okay, so they do not get compensation for their hard work, which is pretty sad. Delta Green agents fight to save humanity from unnatural horrors, often at a shattering personal cost. In Delta Green, the role-playing game, the players are those agents. They fight to keep threats from beyond space and time from claiming human lives and sanity. The Handler is the game moderator who creates and interprets their world, presents the mysteries they investigate, and describes the awful aftermath of their sacrifices. This slipcase set includes both of the full-color rulebooks for Delta Green, the role-playing game, the Agents Handbook, and the Handler's Guide. The 192-page Agents Handbook includes rules for creating characters and running the game, from investigations to combat to sanity and more. The 368-page Handler's Guide includes the secret history of the world, details of the Delta Green conspiracy, unnatural rituals, bizarre extra-dimensional entities, and reality-shattering great old ones. And a scenario, the Sentinels of Twilight, ready to play. A universe of cosmic terror lurks just outside of sight. Can your agents stand against it? First of all, I love everything that I just read. So I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love conspiracies and conspiracy theories, so this right here sounds so perfect for me. Okay, so right here, we've got the Agent's Handbook and the Handler's Guide. So, let's crack this baby open. Man. Right off the bat, as always, these slipcase sets are incredibly packaged. They look awesome. They're just so cool. Oh my. What is this? This is just taped on here. The truth has been unveiled. There's more on the back. Also by Art DreamWorks. Okay, so one thing that I would like to mention as well is that this game has won, I believe, multiple Emmy Awards. The main rulebook won one. I know that. Yeah, this game has a lot of it's very highly regarded, highly reviewed. Let's see if it passes the very difficult to pass Deathstroke 9 test here. When I look at these, I think to myself, all right, so there's two things that I really like here. I personally like the Keeper's books more, so we're gonna start with the Agent's Handbook. Now this is apparently what you need to play the game. A role-playing game of Lovecraftian horror and conspiracy. Take a look on the back. Welcome to the apocalypse. It says that in Delta Green, the role-playing game, you are one of the agents of Delta Green. You fight to keep terrors from beyond space and time from infecting the world and claiming the lives of humanity. The Agent's Handbook is a players-only rulebook for Delta Green, the role-playing game. This incarnation of the legendary Delta Green game line includes rules for creating agents of all types, rules for tense fluid investigations, nerve-wracking rules for combat, where random disasters can undo the most careful planning. I hope that these new combat rules I love. Mind-melting sanity rules that see agents gradually deteriorate and sometimes snap. I'm very excited for that. Rules for home scenes where players can see what their agents are fighting for. I like that. Quick, intuitive rules to determine equipment and assets. Dossiers on the federal agencies most likely to be featured in play. Further terrors can be found in this book's companion volume, The Handler's Guide. And together they comprise the award-winning Delta Green, the role-playing game. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at what we see down here. And this, I think, this image right here encompasses kind of everything that I see the potential I see in this game. We've got a man holding a gun to another human's head. Okay? I'm assuming that these are both members of Delta Green. One has some type of bluish or purplish ichor coming out of their face and out of their nose, okay? Do you see how incredible this could end up being? So this is like this person's best friend or something like that, but this guy has been infected, and if he gets out, then the whole world will be, contaminated, or the world could be at risk, so he's gonna have to kill his friend. I feel like this has a ton of potential. So, and then right on the front, we've got, he's holding some type of tome out in the woods, and he looks terrified. I wonder exactly what he's terrified of. Now, this stuff, very well made, beautiful looking. Everything makes me think of conspiracies and stuff like that. I love that. And now, let's go in there. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Just this isn't even anything yet. And look at how wonderful this is. Dead, dismembered, dumped in the river. Okay, so obviously it has a lot of, like, the book itself. Okay. Seems to have a ton of demon caught on tape, a YouTube video. Wow. Okay, here we go. Arc Dream Publishing presents Delta Green Agents Handbook by Dennis Detwiller, Christopher Gunning, Shane Ivey, and Greg Stolz. And this has a picture underneath it, and it's been burned up. Man, this is so cool. All right. Dang it! Look at that. I don't want to really show every single piece of art in here, but let's take a look at the contents and then we'll flip through it. So we've got an overview. So the world of Delta Green, what is Delta Green? Then agents, what makes an agent, how to create one, stuff like that. The game itself, kind of the rules of the game, combat, and sanity. So those are more rules of the game. Home, equipment and vehicles, federal agencies, and then the appendices, whatever. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look right here. Let's look at this. What is Delta Green? Ask any two Delta Green agents, what is Delta Green? And you'll get very different answers. It is an enigma. Its mission requires concealing itself from the public, from the rest of the U.S. government, and even sometimes from its own agents. It is likely that even a veteran agent has met fewer than 5 Delta Green operatives. That's it. There are no cubicles, no secret bases, no newsletters, or human resource intranets. No badges or letterhead. Every team is spread out, coming together only when a mission demands it. Details about the leadership are off limits. If there is a headquarters, you've never seen it. If you do know more, you know to keep it to yourself. Such knowledge could get people arrested or killed. The group is more like a secret society than an agency of the federal government. Every Delta Green agent spends most of his or her time working a real job. Quote-unquote real job. Many are FBI, CIA, or military, but nearly any profession can be found in Delta Green's ranks. Right off the bat, I love that. So you never truly know. Everything about this... So let's see right here. It says, so consider this overview a warning. Delta Green is about fear. It may seem to be about other things from time to time, about manipulation, about power, about control. It has all these things, but that's not what it's actually about. Delta Green is about some agent, alone off the record, breaking into an old woman's house in Brooklyn because for a split second she cast the shadow of a hunched monstrous thing with jaws like a jackal. Okay? Look at this insane image right here. So Delta Green's not about guns, not about a bug hunt, not about understanding. It is about the end. Okay. So flipping through, I see very well, laid out everything. You've got different sections for everything. Optional briefing, on the ground, retirement, investigation and uncertainty, suspense and horror, violence and moral choices, sanity and comprehension, keeping secrets, personal and professional consequences. Each of these sounds like could be a video title, right? Each of these sounds like some of these moral choices, moral dilemmas and stuff, suspense, using uncertainty with investigation, the sanity and that comes with comprehension. All those sound like videos I've done before, right, guys? You know that this is what I like. Thank you guys for recommending this to me. So then you've got general, game, the same type of stuff that comes in pretty much any tabletop role-playing game you would ever see, ever. Describe your agent's actions, kind of telling you how to play if you've never played a game like it before. It's got some extra stuff as well, though. I like that. So you've got a handler, which is a keeper, which is a game master, right? Then you've got some stuff about agents, how to make them. I'm excited to look into everything about this system, and I'm going to be making a how to get into Delta Green video series. But right now, we're just going to be focusing on the layout of the book and what kind of jumps out at me right from the start. I like the way this character sheet is laid out. It's almost like a government, file. Let's skip ahead a bit. Still on agents. There's a lot of stuff for agents. Then you've got the game itself. Love how the thing on the game is very short to the point. You're done. You're on to combat, right? Now, combat's probably a little bit longer. Then you've got sanity. I am so excited to really look through all this stuff on the sanity, because this, that's not disturbing at all. Oh, man. I want to read this, but I'm not going to. Okay. I have noticed something, actually, in these little tiny off-screen things. I have seen some profanity. So just to anyone who's watching, I know some of you guys who watch are, younger than 18 years old. So there is some, I see some profanity in here. Obviously, with any game, right, it's as bad, especially role-playing games. It's as bad as the people playing it, or as bad as you want it, as you want to make it. Obviously, it's a horror game. It's going to have some, extreme elements to it. So just keep that in mind, that these books themselves definitely, take a look, just looking at this art, you kind of understand that. And I know a lot of my channel is, I'm trying to, get information about tabletop role-playing games to my own generation. And that so many different age groups of people like my videos is awesome. But when I really buckle down on a idea for my channel, I want to show the world how awesome role-playing games are, how much, more fun, at least more creative they are than, I don't know, playing Fortnite or something. So, all that being said, just keep in mind, there is some, I'm just looking at this, all these disorders, addictions, there's some stuff in here. There's some more adultish stuff. I'm still, it's so cool, though. I'm excited for all this, guys. You have no idea. These images all by themselves. So, one thing about Call of Cthulhu, the main game, which I did not love. I mean, I did really like the artwork in Call of Cthulhu, but it wasn't that scary, right? The artwork in Call of Cthulhu is very Lovecraftian. It's not cosmic horror, it's Lovecraftian. So it looks like a little jotting down of a scientist's notebook, right? And there is horror behind it, but just this image right here captures more of the feeling I want to evoke in my own games than any of the images in the Call of Cthulhu books do. So, just mentioning that, the artwork is incredible. I really like all of these very detailed descriptions of stuff, really like that. Home, I like this idea, the idea behind this, which is, the occasional scenes that will focus on the agents' everyday lives. They should last no more than a few minutes, and they are a chance to explore the most important things in an agent's life, and to see whether those things are deteriorating thanks to Delta Green. So these can be extremely depressing, or very, very interesting, or they could even be like a flashback. I almost said a backflash. It could be a total backflash. So, yeah, and it looks like it has some, can add sanity, can do different things to improve a skill or a stat. It can help the investigators, which is pretty cool as well. So you take a stock of what has changed for you as a person, and how things are different because of what's been going on. Then you've got equipment. That's really short, a very short section. Then you've got the equipment and vehicles. So I feel like this is also similar to the way Call of Cthulhu works, where it doesn't necessarily have you keep track of every cent you have. It more just kind of puts them in the categories and says, you know, this is an incidental expense. This is a standard, unusual, major, extreme, right? Plus, I would assume that if you're working for the government, they would likely give you quite a bit of stuff that you could use. See, you've got these nice tables. I like that. Let's see. Hit points, armor, surface speed, and expense. Very simple. And you know me, I like simple systems with lots of lore. And I've heard that this system does have a lot of lore, a lot of stuff that goes into it. I'm very excited for that as well. I think I'm going to really like this. And I hope you do too if you decide to get it. Federal agencies. Law enforcement, and these are like suggested professions, I believe. So every single investigator seems to be a part of the government, right? And that's something that makes it interesting, is how it connects everybody together. You know, federal agencies kind of connects everything together. Federal agencies goes on for quite a long time. And when it ends, you make it to the appendices, the appendix. You make it to the appendix of the book. Then you've got some other stuff about the trade, tricks of the trade. And a glossary. I think there might be something else over here. Individuals. Some different, yeah, so a glossary, yep. And there we have it, folks. An index, recommended media. I like that as well. Very nice. Nice. All right. Ooh, that's just a head. Okay. And then you come to the end. There's a character sheet. There's an open game license, which is very interesting. I did not know that. Does Delta Green have an open game license? So does Delta Green system have an OGL to it? Comment below and let me know if you are aware of this, because it looks like it does, which is super interesting as well. I love this. I'm very excited to dive deeper into this, but now we must move on to what I'm most excited about, to be honest. Let's take a look at this opening picture. I don't know what the heck is going on in the background. These looks like almost hands, but I can't really tell. Then it's this woman with a third eye carved into her forehead, which, funny story, I was once playing Dungeons and Dragons and I had one of my players went basically insane. And so they like sliced open their forehead and a third eye opened up, but no one else could see it. Everyone else just thought they were bleeding. This was after I started my Call of Cthulhu phase, so that's probably why. So anyway, yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Let's take a look at the back. You are the apocalypse. In Delta Green, the role-playing game, the players are the agents. Okay, I've read a lot of that. Okay, here we go. The handler is like the game master. It's the game moderator who creates and interprets the world and presents the unnatural horror they investigate. Now let's take a look at the overview of what's inside here. A history of the world of Delta Green from pre-human history to present day, with campaign tips and scenario seeds on pretty much every page. Horrifying rituals, unnatural entities, and reality-shattering great old ones. Rules for creating new threats to shock and terrify your agents. The secretive Delta Green organization in deep and disturbing detail. And the other ruthless conspiracy that claims it is the real Delta Green. What? Oh my goodness gracious. Guidelines for creating scenarios. Love that. Love that so much. Thank you. Thank you, whoever made this. Thank you so much for that. Just that. I would have gotten a book for just that. And then Operation Fulminate, the Sentinels of Twilight is a sample scenario. Let's take a look at what we've got in here. Alright. Again, all of this stuff. I love it. So you open it up. Let's take a look at the contents. Introduction. Let's make sure you can see this. Introduction, the past, the unnatural, the schism. The schism. Interesting. The opera, and then the end. Okay. So right off the bat, we've got an introduction. And again, this one I probably will be able to show you even less of. I'm just going to go as fast as I can through it because this video's gone on for quite a while already. But let's go over what we've got so far. Handlers come to Delta Green for all kinds of reasons. They may like to weave a story, fashion a mystery, or just devise some new horror. Whatever the reasons, in the end, that creation is never simple. When all the layers of the investigation are pulled back, more often than not, what is revealed is the stark nothingness of infinity. Consider this overview a mandate. Delta Green is about the end of humanity. You may make it about some other things from time to time, about family, about life, about the things that make us human. It has all those things, but that's not what it's about. It lies. Delta Green is about 3 people killed in a standoff in the Mojave Desert, bang, 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 in a box that contained a single ingot of unknown metal labeled Surface Sample Bucket 1. Man. Okay. So, the world of Delta Green is a role-playing game of horror, wonder, and conspiracy. By opening this book, you've chosen to become the handler. It is the handler's job to keep the players engaged. You are the creator, host, and judge of all things that occur in the fictional world of Delta Green. You fill it with the secrets, take the role of non-player characters, NPCs, and create the threats that they face. You roll the dice and make the calls. Only you understand the absolute truth. Delta Green is about truths that kill. The ultimate truth is this. In remote places, through rents in space and time, and beyond the veils of our limited 4-dimensional experience, things await release. When they are free, humanity will burn. An isolated few in the know, Delta Green, struggle to resist this final conflagration. Look at this image. You're just sitting here like, what the frick is going on? It's like a nuclear bomb, but also a fish person. But it's so big. Ugh, I love it. Okay. I keep saying I love it so much, but I can't stop. So then there's a ton of lore. The past. Still the past, right? So there is so much lore, and there's all these little things off on the sides, which are apparently, as they said, scenario hooks. Basically, you can use any of them to create a scenario. So much is in the past, right? We're still on the past all the way over here. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Keep going, and it just gives you so much to work with. So much cool stuff to work with. Finally, you make it to part 2, the unnatural. And I'm very excited to read all of this. The Last Machines. Interesting. In the void, there is no time. Systems turn and connect, and after that emergence into chaos. Returning, we find a ruin bloated with the animal filth of the former age, grown and spread and madly uncertain of its position as master. Once, they worshipped us as gods. Once, we showed them the stars and the secrets of the angles in communion with the powers both above and below. Now, once we fed on them, and they were glad to be of use. Wow. This is interesting. This is like... So them as in... Who's this from? Submit to Anon forums. Anon. Okay. Infection of the Understanding. The Great Old Ones. I love this. OPINT. I wonder what OPINT stands for. O-P-I-N-T. So yeah, then we've got a lot of Yeah, there's that. Then we've got a ton of stuff on the Great Old Ones and the Unnatural stuff. There we go. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so it says Unnatural Tomes and actually has some information on them. So something that I greatly dislike about Call of Cthulhu's main book is that it's got a bunch of books, tomes and stuff, but then it just says very, very little about it. And this looks like it's got much more information on each different, like the Book of Dagon. And then you've got all of this, right? It's very, very helpful, very useful. Love that. So then you've got a ton of that. Lots of different... then we've got stuff on the Elder Sign. These might actually be rituals or like spells, which are cool as well. And what's interesting is that you could probably like combine stuff from this system with the other system, or like stuff like the spells and things like that with Call of Cthulhu. Then you've got some stats for stuff like Deep Ones, Dimensional Shamblers, all types of creatures, right? Ooh, he's cool. Ah, that's right on the... That's that image I was admiring before. So then the Unnatural goes on for a very long time. Nyarlathotep. Hotep. Yeah, so this is... This has a lot of different stuff about all of Lovecraftian mythos. Then we move on to the Schism. Now, I'm assuming this is what they're talking about when they say two groups calling themselves Delta Green. So at the beginning, it's one Delta Green, but then they kind of split, I'm assuming. In the field, what to tell your agents? Nothing. Tell them nothing. In the field, how much is this true? How much of this is true? You're the handler, it's your game. The information presented in this chapter is as accurate as you want it to be. Change anything to suit your campaign and keep your players in suspense. That's like the number one rule for anyone playing any role-playing game ever, is whatever the book says, it's your game in the end, and you can change what you want. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun playing this game, and I hope that you guys have a lot of fun playing this game too and coming with us as we go through it. So... Schism, that goes on for a long time, kind of detailing, I'm assuming, the split between the two. And then we've got the opera, which I'm assuming decades ago some unknown agent came up with a bleak euphemism for going on a Delta Green operation. A night at the opera. The phrase stuck, and Delta Green Ops have always been lethally dangerous, and confronting the unnatural stresses the mind like no other investigation or special operation. But there's no need to dwell on it, right? A night at the opera. Cop humor. Agent humor. So this is going to teach you how to create a campaign or a scenario. This might be the most useful section. For me personally, I might make videos on like a lot of the different things in here. So, be prepared for that. Then we've got more stuff at the end, which include a scenario. The Sentinels of Twilight. In this Delta Green scenario, the agents learn that not all of those who are lost should be found. So... I'm not entirely sure what that's going to include, but we shall likely find out eventually. More recommended media, very useful. And then an index. And there you have it, folks. Delta Green Handler's Guide and the Delta Green Agents Handbook. Both extremely useful tools for playing the Delta Green role-playing game. Essential books for playing this game. Technically, you could play with just the Agents Handbook. And you could even... So if you go to the link that's in the description of this video, you will be taken to Delta Green's website. And there you can find just these books separately, or you can get the same slipcase set that I have right now. It's not super expensive, $100 for the slipcase, then let's see. Individually, this one is $40. This one is $60. All right. Pretty affordable game. It looks like it's a fully contained system. So, you know, like, you don't need the Call of Cthulhu books to play it. You do need this book, okay? So if you get only one, get this one. This is the one that has all the rules. This is the one that has all the a lot of the cool stuff, though. So definitely recommend picking this one up as well. And the slipcase set itself, like the box and everything that it comes with, is beautiful. This Delta Green sticker thing right here, I almost want to take it off and see if something strange is beneath it, but I'm not going to. And if you get it, you might notice that it looks almost 3D when you're looking at it like this, which is very cool. This thing's heavy. All right, so there you go. Very pretty, very nice. I love it so much. Okay, that is Delta Green, the role-playing game. This is my unboxing of the main slipcase set. I am impressed, very impressed with this. I love the artwork. I like what I'm seeing, what the different sections are titled. I like the layout, reminds me of Call of Cthulhu. I enjoy the way there's so much lore. Like, I'm gonna sit here and just like read over this for a really long time. It's got lots of reading material. I'm going to be making a how to get into Delta Green, the role-playing game video as soon as possible. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this one. If you've never played Delta Green before, I encourage you to do so. And I would like to mention that very soon, I'm going to be running a Delta Green game on this channel. So, yeah, that's about all I've got for you, folks. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. Thank you for getting me to a point where I'm able to do this, by the way. Thank you, Arc Dream Productions, for allowing me to do this, for taking a chance on my channel and helping me out with this. You guys decided to give me a review copy, and I really appreciate that. To everybody else, it's only because of you that I've made it to the point where I'm even able to go ask for something like this. So, thank you very much for that as well. More stuff coming soon. We are Legion. we're what Delta Green strives to stomp out, guys. This gives you all the secrets into how Delta Green works. They let all of the stuff loose here. We are the Legion. Remember that. All right. Deathstroke 9. Out, my friends.